When first responders arrived that night, they found her phone lying face up on the pavement. The screen was cracked. Texts kept pouring in. Her mother was calling. Her friends were texting, asking where she was, but there was no answer, because Katie Donovan was gone, vanished in the dark, just a block away from her apartment. Her phone never left the street, but she did. And what happened in those missing minutes would haunt an entire city. This is the story of Katie Donovan, a nursing student with her whole life ahead of her, until she didn't make it home. Today, we dive deep into the chilling disappearance that rattled Portland, Oregon, in 2018. We'll uncover how her final walk set off a desperate search, the cryptic clues her phone left behind, and the shocking truth that was far darker than anyone imagined. Katie Donovan was 23 years old, a third-year nursing student at Oregon Health and Science University. Everyone described her as determined, gentle, and quietly funny. She'd grown up in Salem, Oregon, the middle child of 3 girls. Her friends called her the peacemaker, always stepping in to calm tensions during stressful exams or roommate squabbles. On March 17, 2018, Katie spent the evening studying pharmacology at a small cafe near her apartment in the Richmond neighborhood of Portland, her usual spot. She texted her sister around 7:30 p.m. about her upcoming test and sent a selfie holding a latte with the caption, "Almost done here, heading home soon." Her sister replied, "Proud of you, Red Heart, get home safe." Katie liked the message at 7:32 p.m. It was still light out when she packed her books into her black backpack, put on her oversized hoodie, and left the cafe. The security camera outside captured her exiting at exactly 7:41 p.m. She turned left, walked past the bus stop, and began her short 8-minute route home. She never made it. At 7:49 p.m., her phone connected to her home Wi-Fi for a few seconds, possibly catching the signal as she approached her street. Then it disconnected. At 7:52 p.m., her mother texted, asking about her day. No reply. At 7:55 p.m., her roommate texted, "Hey, grabbing dinner soon? Want anything?" No reply. At 8:03 p.m., a pedestrian walking their dog noticed a phone lying face up on the sidewalk near Southeast 37th Avenue, just 2 blocks from Katie's apartment. The screen was shattered. Notifications buzzed across it. The dog walker tried to call Mom from the contacts. There was no answer, so they called 911. Within minutes, officers arrived, cordoned off the block, and began searching nearby yards and driveways with flashlights. Neighbors came outside, alarmed by the commotion. Some said they'd heard nothing. Others recalled seeing a dark car idling down the street around 7:45 p.m., but no one could identify the driver. Katie's mother answered the return call from police just before 9 p.m. She screamed when she heard the words. Her father arrived at the scene within 45 minutes, wearing his work clothes and shaking as he spoke to detectives. Her roommate cried on the curb, hugging Katie's black backpack which had been left at home. Her phone was the only thing missing, along with her. Detectives knew that in disappearances, the first 24 hours are critical. They retraced her route, pulling security footage from the cafe, local shops, and street cameras. A blurred video from a boutique 2 blocks away showed Katie walking briskly at 7:44 p.m. Nothing seemed unusual. No one following her. No sudden movement. Then, she simply vanished off camera. Digital forensic teams analyzed her phone. It had a shattered screen but was functional. They recovered her final texts and noticed something chilling. At 7:48 p.m., just 1 minute before it lost Wi-Fi connection, Katie had typed a message in her notes app. It read, "Help me." Investigators believed she tried to write it discreetly as she sensed danger, but she never got to send it. Door-to-door canvassing yielded a potential witness. A resident who'd been walking her dog around 7:45 p.m. said she saw a dark blue sedan pulled over with its hazard lights blinking. She thought it was an Uber or Lyft. Inside sat a man with a baseball cap pulled low, partially obscuring his face. The car drove away quickly when she approached. She didn't think much of it until officers questioned her the next day. Detectives scoured rideshare records. No Uber or Lyft pickups were registered on that street at that time. A neighbor's Ring camera picked up the tail end of the vehicle turning onto Southeast Division Street. They traced the blurry plate number to a 37-year-old man named Daniel Pierce, living in Gresham, a suburb 20 minutes east. Daniel Pierce was a quiet forklift operator with a minor criminal record, a DUI, petty theft, and a domestic disturbance report filed by an ex-girlfriend 2 years prior. Police paid him a visit. When detectives knocked on his door, Daniel acted surprised, offering them water and repeatedly asking if he was in trouble. He said he'd been home all evening playing video games, but officers noticed his dark blue sedan parked under a tarp in his garage. They obtained a warrant to seize the vehicle. Inside, forensic teams found trace evidence: a few strands of long light brown hair matching Katie's, and faint blood smears along the back seat door handle. DNA testing confirmed it belonged to Katie Donovan. Daniel was arrested on March 21st, for days after Katie vanished. Under interrogation, he denied harming her, claiming she must have cut herself while he was giving her a ride home. When detectives asked where she was, he shook his head and whispered, "I don't know. I don't know." While Daniel Pierce sat in jail, hundreds of volunteers gathered daily to search for Katie. Flyers plastered the city. Her nursing classmates organized vigils, holding candles and photos of her smiling in scrubs. Her mother, barely holding back tears, spoke to reporters. "We just want our daughter back. Please, please." On March 26th, search teams found her in a shallow grave under a dense thicket off a quiet service road near the Columbia River Gorge, wrapped in a dark tarp. Her body showed signs of blunt force trauma and strangulation. The medical examiner ruled her death a homicide. Katie Donovan was officially never coming home. Daniel Pierce was charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and tampering with evidence. During the trial in October 2019, prosecutors laid out a harrowing timeline. Daniel, driving home from work, spotted Katie walking alone. He pulled over, offered her a ride under the guise of being an Uber, and when she refused, forcibly dragged her into the car. The note on her phone, "Help me," was her final silent scream. His defense claimed the death was accidental, that she willingly entered his car and fell while exiting. But forensic evidence showed ligature marks around her neck and defensive wounds on her hands and forearms. Katie's mother addressed Daniel during her victim impact statement. Her voice shook as she said, "You took a beautiful light from this world. I hope you spend every day of your life remembering her face and what you did." After a 3-week trial, the jury deliberated for only 5 hours. Daniel Pierce was found guilty on all counts. The judge sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As he was led away in handcuffs, he kept his head down, never once looking at Katie's family. Outside the courthouse, her father spoke to reporters. "We're relieved justice was served, but we will never be whole again. There is a hole in our family forever." Katie's death sparked a citywide push for improved street lighting and community safety initiatives around Portland State University and nearby neighborhoods. Her classmates launched the Katie's Light Foundation, dedicated to providing self-defense workshops and late-night walking escorts for vulnerable students. Each year since her death, a candlelight walk is held on the anniversary of her disappearance. Her friends, family, professors, and strangers who were moved by her story gather in silent memory, walking her route home to honor the life stolen in those final minutes. Katie Donovan's story is a reminder that danger can come quietly, disguised as a stranger offering help, hidden behind a smile, waiting on a dark street with its hazard lights blinking. Her life ended far too soon, but her story lives on as a beacon, urging us to watch out for one another, and to never let the darkness swallow the light. Thank you for watching. If you found Katie's story important, share this video to keep her memory alive and spread awareness about safety and vigilance. Until next time, stay aware and stay safe.